Hello, fabulous Sagittarius. Welcome to your horoscope for the month of August 2014, General Focus. I am your astrologer, Nadiya Shah. Thank you for being here. Well, I do think that this month, really much of the month will be spent sort of building energy towards a very important new moon that will be taking place in the second part of the month. And that new moon will be representative of a brand new beginning, a new start where it comes to matters of career, matters of your goals, but also matters of what you understand that you're actually doing, how high you want to go, what you understand your purposes as well in this life. And these are really important matters on the one hand, yes. They can also be hard to grasp at times, but thankfully the universe is attempting to help you with that. So when I look at the trajectory that's leading you there, let's start at the beginning of the month, because it is at the beginning of the month that you're actually working with the energy of the new moon that took place in the late part of last month. And I spoke about that in last month's horoscope. And my goodness, I've spoken about that in the Jupiter specials as well. And given that Jupiter is your ruling planet, you may want to watch that again because you have such a buildup of energy taking place in the sign of Leo, the part of the sky for you that is your home, if you will, that feels very much like home for you. And really, it's about bringing forward your best, getting in touch with your best, understanding your adventurous spirit, understanding your vision for your life, and what is your personal quest for truth going to be like at this point in your life. And so you're working with that energy as you start, and that energy is actually being emphasized more and more in the first part of the month. Then we get you to the middle of the month. A really important full moon takes place. This particular full moon for you, I'll talk about more in the love-focused horoscopes. However, when looking at it, this particular full moon, it does speak to having a certain understanding, if you will, having the right conversations, if you will, that help you understand many different things, including love, including who you are, including your direction, and so much more. Who is with you on this journey? Who it is that you want to be with you. These are the types of people you're going to be connecting with. And yes, there's a strong romantic connotation to that, but there's also another way to understand that, which has to do with connecting with people, because it is about the random interaction that provides you with new ideas, that provides you with the stimulus to say to yourself, okay, what is it that I actually want to do? What direction do I actually want to go in? And who do I want going with me? As I said, all of this is actually leading you to the new moon that takes place in the late part of the month, because it is in the late part of the month that this very important new moon takes place. Now, this new moon happens right at the top of your chart. And what I find so fascinating about this new moon is that it is standing across the sky from Neptune. Okay. And I know I'll just break down the astrology a little bit before I interpret it. Standing across the sky from Neptune, and then goes on to speak in harmony with Mars and Saturn in the sky as well. Now, I look at this playing out and I find this so interesting because a new moon happening right at the top of your chart does suggest always, regardless of how it's placed, regardless of what conversations it's having, does tend to suggest progress, changes, movement, if you will, on the career front. And those of you who are interested in a promotion, interested in finding work that represents the next thing, the leg up, if you will, this new moon is a good time to make that happen for yourself. New moons at the top of the chart, great time to make things like career bonuses, career promotions, all that stuff happen for yourself. But here's what's really interesting about the new moon. Because it's standing across from Neptune now, I look at this particular conversation playing out, and the thing with this particular conversation is you may have one fantasy, or you may have certain expectations that actually are not realistic. And the thing with this is that the offer that does come, and the reality of it, the nitty-gritty of it, it's almost as if for some of you, it's like you've been chasing this thing for a while and might feel like, oh, finally it's here. but I don't know if I want it anymore because I'm a different person now. I think I'm going for something different now. And so something about the offer might not feel right for who it is that you now are. The dream you once had is no longer the dream you hold today. It's no longer the dream you have now. Now, what's also happening at this particular new moon is that it is speaking in harmony with Saturn and Mars and Pluto as well at one point. And I look at this and it suggests to me that you definitely land on top. So don't let what looks like a disappointment, what might look like a no, what might look like it's not ideal, don't let that get in the way of you taking a chance that you want to take, putting yourself out there, asking for the opportunity, or even just submitting your name for a certain opportunity. It may not look ideal at first, but the experience itself empowers you to make tangible gains and some really powerful gains for some of you out there as well. So what I would say when I look at this new moon is whatever it is that you want to do, do it. Talk about it, apply for it, because you are going to find people are on your side. But it's almost as if you may have to go through a couple of gatekeepers to get there. So if you're looking for a job, you might have to go through 2 interviews to do the 3rd interview that actually goes really well. It might be the 3rd person or the 3rd company that you actually end up with, because the first 2 are actually the universe trying to get you ready for that 3rd actual opportunity that you're meant to have. In other cases, it may be the opportunity presents itself and you go, oh, okay, this doesn't resonate as what I want anymore, even though you wanted it at one time. Trust that instinct, because very quickly it will be rewarded and you will be shown what you need to take to move yourself in a more ideal direction. Those of you not so career oriented, this is going to work itself out more in terms of purpose, in terms of understanding how high you want to go in this life, in terms of understanding what's next, in terms of understanding also for some of you about building a legacy. What is it ultimately that's going to matter? What is it ultimately that you want your bigger contributions to be? And a part of that is connected to the vision that is revealing itself to you in the early part of the month as part of a larger trend that'll be with you for the coming year. However, at this particular new moon, it is really about understanding the process and what you need to do today to have that sense of achievement, to have a sense that you did that. Now, I think for others of you as well, the likelihood of you sort of also having a realization what you wanted before you don't want anymore. But then the goal that does show up for you might be a personal goal. It might be something fun. It might be like, you know what, I want to run a marathon because I never did that before and I thought that might be cool. Something that shows you that you still have a lot to give, you still have a lot to do in this world, and that you actually are stronger and bigger than you knew yourself to be before. It's about trusting the process and putting into steps the motion that actually will get you there. At this particular new moon, do keep in mind, as I said, higher ups, they are going to want to help you, but you have to trust the higher ups that show up for you. Because it may be that you're looking at one person, and this one person is representative by that Neptune, and that one person might not be it, but you might think this is the only one who can help me, but that might not be the case at all. It might actually be somebody totally different who shows up to empower you, to show you what action you can take, to move yourself in a direction that you most want to go. One thing is for sure, though, the universe wants you to know yourself as a person who is accomplished and a person who has something to do in this life. Trust that message and trust your intuition to refine your goals and to refine your move there. If you can do that, then you're utilizing the sky very well. And if you can allow yourself to accept and embrace the adventure that's calling you at the beginning of the month, then you'll find a very seamless path to merge what it is ultimately that you want to do most with what it is that is in front of you to achieve now. Thank you for watching. It'll be a great month. Be fabulous and enjoy.